Let me start by saying good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations, class of 2025. I want to sincerely thank your president, Dr. Fitzgerald, Vice President and Provost, Dr. Kanahov, and all members of the Board of Trustees and the entire Alvernia University community for allowing me to share in this very special moment with you. I want you to know that it is my privilege to be here to congratulate you all on this outstanding accomplishment. You could have easily given up on your education, but you were determined to put in the work that is necessary to achieve this goal, and you are to be commended for it. In preparation for today, I quickly have to take a brief stroll to how I got here. A friend of mine by the name of TJ gave me a call, and he says, you need to be a part of the commencement exercises for an institution and some students who represent everything that is important to you. And I said, TJ, who is it and what is it? And TJ said, these are your people because they are resilient. These are your people because they are not afraid of hard work. And these are your people because they have had to earn their seat at the table. He knew what to say to get my attention, because while I am listening to Dr. Kanahov introduce me, especially when we are in audiences and I hear others say, wow, she's the first woman mayor in the city of Philadelphia. It's the 6th largest city in the nation. She's the first woman in 341 years, and it's the birthplace of democracy. And I am super proud of those things. But TJ knew that there was something special about this graduating class that would connect with me. If all you knew about me was that I was the first woman mayor of the city of Philadelphia, you wouldn't know about what made me and gave me the opportunity to even believe that becoming mayor of the city of Philadelphia was something that someone like me could ever accomplish. So it's important that I lay this groundwork down for you so that you will understand who I am. And I want to use this as a vehicle to share with you why this evening is so important to me. I was born to a single teenage mother, and my biological father was not a consistent part of my life. I was raised by my grandparents who migrated to Philadelphia from the South. My grandmother came from a place called my grandfather, Accomack County, Virginia, and my grandmother came from Manning, South Carolina. Manning, South. They meet and marry in North Philadelphia. My mother's one of 5 children. Why is that important for me to share with you? Because I am very connected to people who understand the value of earning their place and station in life. My grandmother would tell me, who was a domestic worker. Now, some of you are so young, it's a shame you've never heard of what a domestic worker is before. I looked at a resume recently. They're now called environmental technicians. But when my grandmother did the work, it's important for me to put this in perspective for you. It meant that she cleaned the homes of wealthy families to be able to take care of me. And they paid her under the table, which meant that they took her out of the tax structure. So when she found herself taking care of me with my grandfather, who was a physically disabled Navy veteran, it meant that we had to depend on government assistance in order for me to survive. My grandmother, I can see her today, looking me in my eyes. And I want you to think about this. No matter your place and station in life right now, only you will get an opportunity to determine who and what you will be in the future. All you have to remember, and don't you all dare tell a soul, is that if you shut your mouth just a little bit and listen to those teachers in school, you can learn as much as you possibly can and become anyone you would desire in life. It's with that being said that on today, TJ knew that this audience would be my kind of people, because despite anyone's race, class, socioeconomic status, zip code, and or religion, I don't care if you're from rural, urban, or suburban America, or Pennsylvania, or any other state, you are here on today because you've earned the right to wear these gowns and wear your caps, and you should be proud of that. That's the American way, earning your place and station in life. So I have just three recommendations that I want to share with you. First, you should know framework. I am a first-generation college graduate, first in my family, Lincoln University. I'm a first-generation Ivy League graduate, University of Pennsylvania. Harvard University senior execs in state and local government. I am an Eisenhower Fellow who studied the role of women in politics in South America, in Chile, and Argentina. I am an ACYPL Fellow, American Council of Young Political Leaders, where I went down under to study compulsory voting systems. Do you think, Alvernia, that someone thought that a young woman like me, whose mother was a single teenage mother, whose grandmother was a domestic worker, whose grandfather was a physically disabled Navy veteran, do you think that they could have imagined that this opportunity and those opportunities would have been available for someone like me? Maybe not. But at this juncture, we have to pay homage to all of you who are seated in this arena, who are a part of what my grandmother and grandfather would call, some of you, if you are biological family, you are a part of the bloodline. Biological family is a part of the bloodline. But there are some of you who are part of the family that we make along the way. You are a part of the love line. To all of the graduates here on the day, let's give a huge round of applause for the bloodline and the love line who are here. They made it because of you. Thank you for the cash apps. Thank you for encouraging them. Why is this important for me to share? I didn't realize it, but there were 3 tools that were extremely important. The first one that I had to be aware of, and I can remember this in Intro to Sociology, but I just never knew it was going to become such an important tool in my life. I encourage you to beware of the negative self-fulfilling prophecies. What does that mean? Sometimes we can get in our own minds. We get in our own heads. We begin to listen to negative perceptions about ourselves, and we begin to allow them to, in essence, control what our future and our destiny is. I am here on today to strongly encourage you, members of the class of 2025, to please don't allow the negative self-fulfilling prophecies to control space and occupy space in your mind and in your spirit. Why is this important? If you think you are going to fail, or you've listened to someone else tell you that you are going to fail, after a while, you begin hearing the same thing over and over and over again. You may begin believing that messaging. I need you to remember that it's a thing. It is not just a coincidence. It has a name. It is defined. And you have to work extremely hard to ensure that the negative self-fulfilling prophecy does not consume you. The second thing that I want you to do that you already have, and Lord, I am so happy that you do. I am mayor of the city of Philadelphia, and you can't live in Philadelphia or function in Philadelphia without this thing. We call it the G word in Philadelphia. And because you are resilient, I know you already have it. It is called grit. Let me hear you say grit. Psychologist Angela Duckworth. She studied people in all walks of life. She studied students at West Point, finalists in spelling bees, national and global. She studied executives in corporate America and teachers in tough communities. And guess what Angela Duckworth found? She found out that IQ was not the difference between those who were successful and those who weren't. It wasn't socioeconomic status either. And guess what else it wasn't? And this we were surprised. It wasn't social intelligence. It was grit. It was grit. Now, someone in the audience is saying, wait, grit is only 4 letters. It's G.R.I.T. Grit is more powerful than socioeconomic status? Wait a minute. If you have the ability to take your checkbook out of your pocketbook and just write the check for the full amount of your tuition, and you don't have to worry about a student loan and or a grant, you mean that doesn't make someone smarter? Absolutely not. You mean it's not your social intelligence? Absolutely not. Angela Duckworth defines grit as the power of passion and perseverance to achieve very long-term goals. I know that you all are gritty and you have grit because as we counted it back, many of you became students here in order to be sitting in these seats during the worst Black Swan event that we could have never predicted in our nation. And that was in the middle of COVID. And while some were trying to find their way, it was not a coincidence that you became laser focused on determining that this was where you needed to make an investment right now. So I don't care if you were a traditional student and you were enrolled and coming into a building. I don't care if you were online. You decided that you would focus your time and attention on pursuing academic excellence, and that demonstrates grit, but you have to promise me you won't forget it. Let me hear you say grit. This final thing is extremely important to me, and I want you to remember this. Everybody, you'll have to remember this. I'm Black and I'm Baptist, okay? We do call and response, so you have to participate in this activity with me. I want to hear you, only the graduates, say, don't throw shade on my Alvernia shine. That sounds good. Let's try that one more time. Don't throw shade on my Alvernia shine. I'll never forget. And one of my former Pennsylvania House of Representatives colleagues, he's here. I was a member of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. I had just gotten married. My son was 2 years old. And Alvernia, when he was 2 years old, I decided it was time for me to go back to school and pursue my graduate degree. I was a legislator, and my grandmother's in my head. You can't be mediocre at anything. You have to prove proficiency at whatever it is that you do because no one owes you anything. No one's going to give you anything. If you want anything, you will have to earn it. Well, I need to go to graduate school to get it. And I applied to the University of Pennsylvania. And once I received the letter informing me that I had been admitted, I can remember folks saying to me, you're a legislator, you're elected. Why would you want to go back to school now? You don't need to go back to school. And Cherelle, you're in your 30s. You're already an old mom. Now you're going to be an old student when you go to school. You don't have to do any of this to be successful. I did not understand what was happening during that time, but it was what I learned. and that is misery loves company. And everybody is not going to be happy about your success here on today. Someone, somewhere, somehow, who remembers that you couldn't talk anymore or respond on social media the way they could all day long because you were getting prepared to respond to the professors who you needed to make sure that you delivered on your assignments. You had to make a sacrifice to be here. However, they didn't understand it, and now you're not finished. Now, most of you here at Alvernia, and listen to me, this is a shameless plug. You're going to have to make sure you go on the City of Philadelphia's philly.gov website because there are a number of opportunities for employment that are available in the City of Philadelphia right now, and we're looking for the best and brightest subject matter experts around. You promise me you'll do that. But however, I want you to know this, and I don't want you to be surprised. When you leave here on tonight and you talk to someone who hasn't been an intimate part of your journey, somebody is not going to be excited for you. Somebody is going to say to you, do you think you're special now because you received this degree from Alvernia University? Well, where's Alvernia? I've never even heard of Alvernia University before. What makes you think that this is so special? I want you to remember that mayor of Philadelphia, how did she know that this was going to happen? Because it's human nature. You've taken a step that no one has expected you to take, especially if you were a non-traditional student like me, or even an undergraduate student, or you were from out of state and you're here for the very first time. You actually took the first step. You showed up, and by showing up, guess what you also demonstrated? And I want you to remember that I said this as well. As I'm listening to the president give her remarks, I was so pleased to hear her talk about character. Because when you leave with these degrees and you represent Alvernia, I want you to know that before you walk into any room of power, your name and your reputation, your integrity and your character, they go have a seat at the table before you do. You have to make sure and promise me that anyone who doesn't profess to be excited about your success, that you won't allow them to throw shade on your shine. You won't allow them to minimize your success, and you won't allow anyone to put you in a box to make you feel like you don't belong. What will you do? Remember the instruction of your professors. Remember that you have to prove proficiency in whatever subject matter you are focused on. Remember that your name, your record, your reputation, your academic preparedness, it goes in the room and at the table before you do. But you have to do what Grandma told me. Head up, shoulders back. As long as you work hard and you're willing to earn, I don't care what our socioeconomic status is. You deserve to have a seat at the table and be in the room if you are willing to earn it. It's with that in mind that I wholeheartedly want to say to you, the Alvernia University family, that Mayor Cherelle Parker of the City of Philadelphia is proud to be here with you on today. I am proud to now be a part of your extended family. And with that in mind, I want you to know that I am looking forward to seeing you all achieve big things, knowing that you are all Alvernia made. Congratulations, class of 2025. Thank you to all of the instructors. And remember, earn, 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 earn. Thank you.